Hi everyone, welcome to your All Levels Flow. My name is Jenny and I'll be guiding you through practice today. So starting in a comfortable seated position on your mat, resting the hands on the shins, palm facing up, start to close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. Rooting the sit bones into the mat, growing long and tall through the spine, imagining the crown of your head reaching towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And we'll take a united breath to start the practice. So wherever you are in your breath cycle, exhale, empty out the lungs. And then inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale, side out. Start to open the eyes with a few blinks. And we'll come over onto our hands and knees for a tabletop. So shoulders stacking over the wrists, hips over the ankles, toes can be tucked or untucked. We'll cycle through a few rounds of cat and cow. So on your inhale here, belly dips, chest shines forward, shoulders retract, gazing up. And exhale, pushing your palms into the mat, rounding the spine, chin towards the belly for your cat pose. Inhale, belly dips, gazing forward for cow. And exhale to tuck and round for cat. Cycle through a few rounds on this on your own time. And you can start to add some freestyle movement here. You can rotate around over the wrists in one direction and then circle back in the other. Send the hips backwards and forwards. Wave them side to side. Whatever feels good here. No right or wrong way to move. And then when you're ready, come back into a neutral tabletop position. Tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back for your first downward facing dog. And in your first downward facing dog here, pedal out the feet. Staying long in the spine, gazing between the toes. And then coming to a moment of stillness here. Take an inhale through the nose. And on your exhale, bend at the knees, gaze forward, and start to walk your feet to the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Grabbing onto opposite elbows here, sway side to side, bend into one leg and then the other. Nod your head yes and shake it out no. And then slowly start to roll up into a standing position, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Good. So coming into mountain pose, toes together, heels slightly apart. We'll come through a round of Surya Namaskar A. So inhale, arms reach overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold over the legs, palms to the mat. Inhale, palms to shins, flat back, halfway lift. And exhale, fold, palms to the mat. Step your right foot back and step your left foot back, coming to a high plank position. Drop your knees if you need to, bending the elbows at 90 degrees, coming into a chaturanga. Inhale, tops of the feet to the mat, straighten the elbows, chest forward and through, gazing up for your upward facing dog. And exhale, curl over the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, take an inhale here, and then exhale to side out the mouth. Inhale to float the left leg high, three-legged dog. And exhale, swing it through between the palms. Arms sweep up and overhead, coming into your high crescent lunge. So front leg is bent at 90 degrees. Back leg is engaged, heel stocking over the toes. Tucking your belly into the spine, making sure the ribs aren't splaying out. Relax your shoulders down from your ears. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, opening up into your warrior two. So right heel comes down, right toes facing the side of the mat. Extend your arms wide and gaze over your front fingertips. Making sure you still have a deep bend in the left knee, but that you can see your left toes beyond your left knee. Take an inhale to float the palms up, and then exalt your warrior, sending your left arm up and overhead, right fingertips down the back leg. Inhale back into warrior two, and then straighten the front leg, coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So tuck the left hip under, start to slowly reach your left fingertips far to the top of the mat, as far as you can. And when you can't reach any further, just rotate the torso, sending your left fingertips to the mat and your right arm up and overhead, gazing up at your right fingertips. Good, take an inhale here. And then exhale to bend back into the front knee, coming back into your warrior two. Cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot. Step your left foot back into a high plank and flow through a Vinyasa. So drop the knees if you need to. Bend the elbows at 90 degrees, Chaturanga. Inhale, tops of the feet to the mat. Straighten the elbows, gaze up for your upward facing dog. And exhale, curl over the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. And exhale, side out the mouth. Inhale, right leg lifts high, three-legged dog. And exhale, swing the foot through between the palms. Arms sweep up overhead, coming into your high crescent lunge. So deep bend into the front knee. Engage your back leg and your back glute. Imagine the kneecap lifting up away from the mat. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale to open up into your warrior two. Spinning the left heel down and left toes facing the side of the mat. Arms extend wide, keeping a deep bend into the front knee, gazing over your right fingertips. Take an inhale to flip the palms to the ceiling and exhale to exalt. Right arm reaches up and overhead. Left fingertips floating down the back leg. Inhale back into your warrior two, and then straighten the right leg, tucking the right hip under, coming into Trikonasana on this side. So sending your right fingertips forward, and when you can't reach any further, simply rotating the torso, bringing the right fingertips to the mat, gazing up at your left fingertips. Take an inhale here. And then exhale to bend back into the front leg, coming back into your warrior two. Cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot. Step your right foot back into a high plank. And this time we'll slowly exhale to bring the body all the way down to the mat. Keeping your palms under the shoulders and your elbows tucked tight into the body here. Inhale to slowly peel the chest off of the mat, coming into a low cobra. And exhale to fold back down to the mat. Open your knees wide and send your bum back to sit on the heels, coming into a child's pose. So forehead to the mat. Arms are reaching forward. Start to slow down the breath here. And then inhale to slowly Walk your fingers back to your knees, coming back into a comfortable seated position, resting the palms on the shins, closing the eyes, and we will seal off the practice with the united breath here. So exhale to empty out the lungs. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, side out the mouth. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Namaste.